Union Pacific has a total of 1,404 GEVOs across the few models they have. Generally speaking, they all look the same, but if you know based on the title of this video, there are a couple of exceptions to the GEVO fleet which receive some sort of special treatment for differing reasons. Let's spotlight 5 of UP's outliers in their AC slop fleet and see what the deal is with these units. So to quickly set the scene, Union Pacific was one of the earliest buyers for GE's new Evolution series locomotives, first taking on deliveries in 2003 and then proceeding to buy them en masse. The railroad would classify them as C45 ACCTEs, with a total of 1,264 units produced, and a further 170 Tier 4 units later on. But those don't matter for this video. From a looks perspective, they all look the same with little to no changes in the livery. Aside from, those. But now we come to the specialized units, and there actually is some precedence to why they exist. Starting with... Let's start off with the first of these special interest units, as on March 31st, 2010, C45AC number 2010 was outshopped in a special livery to commemorate 100 years of the Boy Scouts of America, a youth organization in the United States which specialized in making young people to choose more ethical choices within their life, with the organization first starting out on February 8th, 1910. So exactly 100 years. The unit was originally numbered 7469, constructed in May of 2009 at General Electric's Erie plant. It was renumbered to 2010 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the Boy Scouts of America, with badges and stickers to commemorate such a locomotive. This unit would see some usage for special events around the early 2010s, such as an appearance at the 2011 Rochelle Railroad Days, riding behind 844 on an excursion in 2012, and attending the 103rd anniversary of the Boy Scouts in 2013. However, this unit would quickly fade from relevancy and just became another GEVO as the decade progressed. By the time of the pandemic decade, in this case the 2020s, the unit's logos had disappeared, and by 2022, 2010 was just given conventional UP markings on the long hood, replacing the Boy Scouts badges on the side. In spite of the unit's unique status being removed, it for some reason still keeps its special number as of 2026, making it the odd one out amongst the AC fleet, which follow the more uniform numbering schemes, with this next locomotive being an example of one. Compared to the Scouts unit, 7400 and other units had more uniform numbers. Outshopped in April of the same year, 7400 was chosen to represent as a tribute to the Susan G. Komen for the Cure, a breast cancer organization first formed in 1982. Union Pacific's resource group had been working close with the breast cancer organization since 2000, mostly through the Nebraska More Than Pink Walk, which helped create promotion campaigns and motivate UP employees into supporting the organization, with 7400 being one of those dedications from the railroad. With the locomotive's reveal also being on the 10th anniversary since UP's involvement with Komen on the Cure had begun. This is evident with the pink ribbon symbolizing power on power, which is the strength and progress of breast cancer awareness on the side of a powerful locomotive that is able to haul ton after tons of freight. Now, 7400, like 2010, did see some special use, such as the opening of UP's Global 4-Yard in April 2011, and that's about it. Unlike 2010, however, 7400 still wears its breast cancer ribbon on the long hood, and is still serving at the railroad as of 2026. Oh. Well, that's new. On November 3rd, 2025, 7400 was leading an intermodal train through San Antonio, Texas, when it struck an 18-wheeler stuck on the tracks. This semi in question was carrying band equipment from Austin Vandegrift High School for a marching band competition. Thankfully, no injuries were reported, with the drivers of both vehicles being unharmed. And the locomotive did return to service, while the band was able to perform in spite of the setbacks. The third of the official special interest GEVOs was also among the more short-lived examples. Considering that GE was making thousands upon thousands of GEVOs for not only America's railroads, but even overseas railways, it's fair to say by the time of 7964's construction in April of 2012, it became the 5,000th example of a GEVO constructed. It still maintained the regular UP livery, but with blue stickers on the side showcasing its significance as the 5,000th GEVO constructed. And that's about it. It would keep the special stickers for only 4 years when they were taken off around 2016, making 7964 just another GEVO, amongst thousands of others like it. As of 2026, 7964 is still serving at UP, but looks worse for wear than it did 10 years ago. Alright, now we're getting to the last two, which are by far the most obscure examples out of the ones mentioned so far. 8174 was built in May of 2014, and just a month since being outshopped, was put on the lead of what's called the Big Red Express, which ran on June 28, 2014 out of Omaha, with whistle stops at places like Columbus, Kearney, Grand Island, and North Platte, which were all located in Nebraska. This was all done in collaboration with Union Pacific and the University of Nebraska to promote the historical connection with the communities across Nebraska. The special run brought hundreds of people over to the whistle stops, which showcased the impact the railroad had on the communities since the 20th century. Following its run, 8174 would more or less just become another GEVO. A short-lived sensation for a special run that was come and gone. Anyways, on to the last one. So, Union Pacific for a time had once given some locomotives plaques in dedication to the workers that demonstrated safety awards, with these plaques usually being applied on locomotives like SC60Ms, Dash 8s, and Dash 9s, most of which are nowadays stored, retired, or scrapped. The plaque trend seemed to have died off around the late 1990s, but it seemed like one GEVO did receive the plaque around 2006, and that unit was number 5287, being built in March 2006 as just another GEVO. It wasn't until 2011 when 5287 was spotted with a plaque dedicated to the J.C. Kenefick Safety Award, named after former UP chairman John C. Kenefick. This safety award honored employees who presented various safety achievements, with the plaque on the GEVO specifically saying, "For his unwavering commitment to safety, this locomotive is dedicated in honor of Lennell Smith, track foreman, Alexandra La, Harriman, and J.C. Kenefick Safety Award winner, 1986. The plaque is still in place as of 2026, but considering all the grime, it's kind of hard to read it unless if you're really close to the locomotive. And aside from that, 5287 is still serving with UP as one of the very few plaque units still around on the roster. But it's by no means a pretty one. So yeah, those were UP's specialized GEVOs, once made to promote their connections with various communities, give safety awards, or just to say, hey, this is the 5,000th slop made, they've more or less just faded into obscurity and just become another workhorse in the background. But you gotta admit, looking back at them, they did provide a nice splash of variety on a rather standardized fleet of AC slop.
I will park here.